In my last video, I teased a silhouette of our favorite sports spellcaster in Dota 2. If you've been following competitive Dota lately, then you'll know that the spellcaster is Lion, the Demon Witch. Just like the hero in my previous video, the form that we see now is not what it used to be. And just like Lich, Lion's current form is the result of him undergoing a transfiguration that nearly makes him unrecognizable to those who knew what he looked like before, but not unrecognizable enough for us to tell what he used to be before his transformation. With the power of investigation, headcanon, and analysis, we might be close to an answer for the mystery that is Lion's true identity. Lion has the privilege of being a hero that was released before 2013, so he has a lot of lore from his cosmetic sets. Compared to the modern characters, such as Legion Commander, they only have one piece of lore from a single item from their sets, or absolutely no lore at all, unless they have an immortal item, which is bound to have some important lore to it. The thing is, Lion is also one of the many heroes who indeed has much lore, but some of that lore is just useless, redundant, non-canon, or just filler. Luckily, we have the power of headcanon on our side, which means that things that have no significance to the lore may be more important than it seems when you look much closer to it. Let's start with a combination of lore from his appearance and biography. Not only do we learn from both his looks and his lore that he was transformed by the Demon Hand, but we also learn that he was the Grandmaster of the Demon Witch tradition of sorcery, long before he was seduced and corrupted. Despite the evil-sounding name, Lion actually fought on the side of light and righteousness. It's quite a misleading name if you ask me.
Lion, your name is very misleading. So, Demon Witch. That's a hell of a title.
But unfortunately, we know nothing about this Demon Witch sorcery because none of his current abilities reference this kind of magic. The only hero who's even interested in it is Rubik, who also calls it a rare kind of sorcery.
Sad to see such rare sorcery go to waste. Show me this Demon Witch sorcery of yours, Lion.
This would imply that Lion's Demon Witch sorcery is not well known in the world of magic, as not even Rubik knows about it. You could say that Lion's mage clan is quite esoteric and not really easy to get into. Lion himself had to be offered to the Demon Witch tradition by his family in order to become an acolyte, so it looks like Lion didn't become a Demon Witch by his own accord. Speaking of the Demon Witch, I found out that one of Lion's item sets might be a depiction of himself when he was still a Grandmaster of Demon Witch sorcery. Take a look at his Stackments of the Witch Supreme cosmetic set. Unlike his other sets, this one in particular doesn't have any themes of hell or anything from it, except for the disfigured hand.
I would have pawned my golden glove for this.
Unlike his other sets, this one in particular doesn't have any themes of hell or anything from it. The white and gold crown, golden medallion, golden scepter, it all looks like some form of regalia. This attire might be something that he wore when he was still the Grandmaster of his magic tradition. Also, the word Witch Supreme is related to his status as a Grandmaster of his kind of magic, and it does sound like a fancy way of saying Demon Witch Grandmaster. It's just my headcanon though, as this set may or may not be canon, but I am leaning a bit on the latter. By the way, if you remember what I said at the end of the previous video, you'll recall that I was going to talk about another hero who might also be an Oglodi. Based on the evidence that I gathered, it seems like Lion might also be an Oglodi, and here's why I think so. Let's go all the way back to the days of Defense of the Ancients, when it was still a mod for Warcraft 3. Among Dota's final roster, there were 9 orc heroes in the game, including Lion, who used the model of a corrupted orc warlock. When Dota 2 was released, Valve made their own version of the orcs, who are now known as the Oglodi, but only a few orc heroes have remained as Dota 2's version of the orcs. If the Oglodi people are Dota 2's version of the orcs, then Lion could possibly be one of these Oglodi heroes, since he used to be an orc as well. Let's take a look at his features. You can notice on his character model that he has a small patch of skin with beige color. Compared to his purple skin, looks like the purple is slowly consuming his beige skin. This small patch of beige color could possibly be a clue to what Lion used to look like. It could also be a good clue to what his demon partner used to look like, since the hand is slowly transforming him into the demon by slowly fusing its aspects into his body and magic. Some of the Oglodi features can be seen in his face. Let's compare Lion to the usual Oglodi features that I established in Leshrak's video. He has a wide flat nose, light colored skin, which also means that he's an unblooded Oglodi, just like Warlock, yellow eyes, and pointed ears. Some of Lion's features might be there to make him look like a lion, but we see a bit more of his actual Oglodi features in Artifact, where he's not always making a grimacing face to show off his feline teeth. Lastly, there's a single voice line directed towards Lion that could imply that he was an Oglodi. Let's hear this one out from Axe.
Axe knows you not, fiend!
Think about this line. Why does Axe, of all the people in Dota, say this to Lion? This line made me think that Lion used to be an Oglodi as well, but Axe doesn't recognize him anymore, and can't tell if he's an Oglodi or not, so he says that in response. And there you have it. Lion might be an Oglodi, at least to my headcanon. But what about his demonic side? Don't worry, I've got some lore for that part as well. The demon partner that Lion killed is a very important aspect of Lion's lore and character. Without this hand, he wouldn't be the powerful demonic spellcaster that he is now. And without the demon, Lion would never have the hand in the first place. This hand is the only remaining part of the demon that was left from Lion's rage. So we can tell from this hand that the demon had dark stone skin with fiery veins on its body, as well as spikes around itself, much like its fellow demon Shadow Fiend. However, the immortal item named Horns of the Betrayer adds another piece to the missing puzzle of the demon's appearance. The lore for this cosmetic states that every time he kills someone with his demon hand, the lives that he takes serve as fuel to the transformation of his body and magic, slowly fusing the aspects of his late demon partner into Lion's being. We can learn from this cosmetic that Lion's demon also had the following features: a thick beard and long flowy hair that's tied back to its ends, as well as a large pair of spiky flaming horns. The circlet and the earrings might be an actual cosmetic that Lion himself wears, but it could be a part of the demon as well, or maybe Lion is trying to copy its appearance. It still doesn't give us a full view of what Lion's demon partner used to look like, but that's already enough for us to imagine a portion of his possible appearance. I think that's enough lore about Lion's backstory. Let's get into the story of Artifact, where Lion is one of the many heroes involved in it. He may not have a role in the three-way war, but he did have his own conflict to deal with. For the first time in many years, we can finally hear Lion interact with the other characters of Dota 2 in a very meaningful way. Many heroes have said things about him, but Valve didn't even bother to give him at least one unique voice line towards the other heroes that actually has some meaning to the lore. But with Artifact, we can finally hear what he thinks about the other people of the Dota universe. Long after he took the hand of his demon partner, Lion was pursued by two parties, the Tyler Estate and the Court of Restool. The first party, who was represented by the Anti-Mage, wanted him dead because of his unlawful use of magic with his demon left hand. On the other hand, the Court of Restool seeks to retrieve the hand that Lion stole for unknown reasons. To protect himself from both parties, Lion sought asylum in the magical city of Weeping Rose. But first, he must seek out the Quorum's emissary to negotiate for his asylum.
I am a hunted man. The Court of Restool seek my hand, the Anti-Mage my head. Now I seek asylum in Weeping Rose, but first I must seek the Quorum's emissary.
Meanwhile, it seems like the Lich wants to kill Lion before he reaches Weeping Rose.
Opportunity calls to me in Roseleaf. Lion flees to Weeping Rose, and will undoubtedly be looking for allies to aid him. The Vul are losing their battle against the Bronze Legion, and are willing to do anything for victory. And the Crystal Maiden of Ice Rat happens to be on holiday. It is truly an embarrassment of riches. The only lingering question is who should I kill first?
But some of Lich's responses towards Lion also indicate that he wants to cooperate with him, as well as travel with him together towards Weeping Rose, since the Lich is also seeking asylum. After all, the Lich is also being hunted by the Tyler Estate.
Together we shall travel to Weeping Rose. Ah, Demon Witch. There is much we can learn from each other. The Court of Restool is a powerful resource.
Since the both of them are looking for asylum, let's talk about the entity that they need to speak to. Enter the Quorum, a council of 31 powerful wizards who govern the magical city of Weeping Rose. The Quorum is represented by an emissary, who doesn't seem to have a real name. When Lion meets the emissary of the Quorum, he asks for asylum in Weeping Rose, but he also offers to share some secrets to the Quorum. The secrets that he's referring to are likely the secrets of his demon hand, which might prove interesting to the Council of Magic.
Emissary, I seek the Quorum's aid. If the Quorum grants me asylum, I will share my secrets. I seek aid from Weeping Rose.
As interesting as this lore may sound, that's all we hear about this interaction between Lion and the Quorum. Of course, this lack of lore calls for a headcanon to complete it. What if Lion wanted the Quorum to help him defeat the Court of Restool? Taking asylum is one thing, since that will only protect him from the Tyler Estate, who are below the Quorum in terms of authority. But you can't hide from demons by staying in a magical city, especially when the demons of the court include the likes of Shadow Fiend, who is without a doubt extremely powerful, as he was able to destroy Shadow Demon and his entire cult with the help of Doom, as well as Underlord, who has the power to warp reality in many ways, from teleporting anywhere he wishes to summoning firestorms and paralyzing pits. I do think that Lion's plan is to hit two birds with one stone. In my headcanon, he believes that the quorum will protect and aid him from both parties. By seeking asylum in Weeping Rose, he will be well protected from the Tyler estate, who will then be forced to follow orders from the quorum to not kill or capture Lion, since he's now under their protection. The next step of his plan is to reveal his secrets to the quorum, which might be the demon hand and its powers, so that the quorum may study its capabilities. With this knowledge in hand, Lion and the quorum might stand a chance against the Court of Ristul and its allies, including Underlord, who was supposed to be revealed in Artifact Foundry after it was shut down. I guess that's about it for Lion's lore. I know I left out some interesting ones, like the time when Lion took the hand of Bukivak the Corrupted, but I thought there was nothing else to talk about in that lore, other than just reading it aloud in this video, which is quite redundant. And then there's Lion versus the Order of the Crystal Echelon from the lore of his Hellspar Anathema. But there's also nothing to talk about, as we don't know why he had to kill this crystalline cult. Not to mention that the cult has no existing connections with other heroes and factions of the Dota universe. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I've got some juicy lore coming up soon, so I'll be seeing you all on the next one.